Every single atheist and sociologist in the world needs to see this video. So do me a favor, like, save, and share it, because ERM, or the Ethical Resolution Method, is about to change the way secular people discuss morals. Where did morals come from, if not objectively grounded in God, is a question you will hear in the religious debate sphere constantly. And until now, atheists have had a hard time responding to it with a resounding argument-ending response. Oxford defines a moral as a lesson, especially one concerning what is right or prudent, that can be derived from a story, a piece of information, or an experience. What a stupid fucking definition. No wonder it's so hard to defend the moral stance of secular society. Usually we say, well, morals are subjective. We select our morals based on what causes the least amount of harm. And we assume that because we are good people, that is a valid answer. It's valid for us, yes. But how can it be valid for people who need a higher authority to dictate their moral compass? Enter the ERM. Science has a framework we're all aware of called the scientific method. It works by having rules that all scientists use in order to reach a conclusion. Then other scientists can review their findings and test for outcomes using the same method to confirm or deny those findings, eventually leading to a scientific theory that holds up. One of the greatest strengths of the scientific method is its allowance that a theory can change in the event that new information becomes available. The ERM is a methodical framework, just like the scientific method, for creating, testing, and codifying moral conclusions. I wrote a dissertation a few years back explaining that morals are the mathematical-like solutions of tested ethical equations. Socially, we have always come to moral standards by testing ethical hypotheses. We make an ethical hypothesis that starts with I. I need, so I take, which results in a moral solution. It's morally okay for me to take what I want. However, when a second I, you, arrives, if both I's use I take for the same resource, I take can result in harm and discomfort, so one or both of the I's realize that that moral solution needs revision, and they agree that I share is a more equitable solution that causes less harm, so they agree to codify that as a moral theory. As more and more I's arrive, that moral theory will either hold up as it is, or it will become more complex. This is how morals have always come to exist and how morals become objective within social groups. The ethical resolution method is a long missing piece of the social contract. It is a procedural framework for ethical inquiry analogous to the scientific method. The ERM, if adopted, will become the social framework for normalizing moral rules for testing ethics in a rigorous scientific way that produces the least harmful solutions of governing, living, and experiencing. The ERM isn't a new way to produce moral certainty. We've always done it this way. It's just a formal method that allows a moral theory to become a trusted, objective construct that every sentient intelligence can use, not just as a guide, but a certainty that it is doing the right thing. ERM has implications in governance, social sciences, AI specifically, education, and organizations. What I can't stress enough is that this isn't new. And here is where atheists can put their debate boots on. We have always codified morals in this way. Morals have always been the solutions to ethical hypotheses tested through learned experience and agreed on by the contract of social authority. We just never had a framework to do it systematically. ERM is that framework. The more you talk about ERM in debates and disagreements about morals, the more concrete the objection becomes, and the more we use it and write papers and tests following the framework, the more we prove that moral authority has never come from an imagined objective moral authority outside of our own. If you want to read up on this, I'm going to link it down in the bottom. Again, do me a favor, make sure that you like, save, and share this video, because every single atheist and non-religious person you know needs to see it and needs to learn how to use it.